The Sports Junkies podcast is presented by PenFed Credit Union. PenFed's got great rates for those in uniform and those who are not. Apply today at PenFed.org. To receive any advertised product, you must become a member of PenFed, insured by NCUA.
Welcome to the latest edition of the Junkies 25th Anniversary Retrospective Podcast, presented by our friends at PenFed Credit Union. Whether you're in uniform or not, you can apply today at PenFed.org. So we jump into the Junkies Wayback Machine, and we revisit Bother the Pro, a segment that is dead and buried at this point because the FCC stepped in and made it very unfun and made it something where we had to go through a billion hurdles basically to try to get people on the air, and they would have to give permission, and they basically sucked all the fun and the spontaneity out of the segment. But it was a segment we clearly enjoyed doing, back in the late 90s to early 2000s, where, we would just try to track down various athletes or coaches or celebrities that we knew were in town, that were staying in local hotels. And, we were basically just throwing darts at a board to see if we could get, somebody that we'd heard of or somebody that we watched on weekends playing in the NFL or the NBA to come join us for a little bit. It was a fun, spontaneous segment. And way more misses than hits while we were doing Bother the Pro. But we enjoyed it a lot. We had a fun time with it. And this is us trying to track down a bunch of guys. And we wound up hitting on Greg Ostertag. You may not remember the name, but he was a big, kind of goofy center that played his college ball at Kansas. Wound up having a pretty good NBA career with the Utah Jazz and a few other teams. And he was willing to play ball with us for Bother the Pro, a segment you'll no longer hear on the Junks, but you will hear it on the Rewind on the podcast.
It's too good of a segment to put away.
Again for Sledge's favorite part of the show. It's the silly segment that's called Bother the Pro. JB, JP, EB, and Cakes. Bother athletes asleep or awake. It may turn out money or turn into a show. And the Junks, Bother the Pro.
All right, cut it.
What is Greg Ostertag? How does
Greg
BC fit in with Ostertag?
Yeah. It's like, dude, there are other NBA fans besides the Bullets or the Wizards in this town.
Greg.
So I clubbed them. We clubbed them on the air. Ostertag has like 8 kids.
Do you need a spelling, Slow Joe?
No, I mean, come on.
It's phonetic.
Ostertag.
Just look under Big Doof.
Right.
Come on, Joe.
You and Bryant Reeves are
quicker.
president and vice president of that club.
Hello.
Hey, Greg, we're the Sports Junkies. Do you mind going in the air with us for just a minute?
Sports Junkies, we're doing a national radio show, man. You got a couple minutes? We're big fans.
Before you go out?
Come on, Greg.
You guys don't care who I am.
Yes, we do. Hey, don't curse. Don't curse.
Say that. Dump.
Why'd you double dump it?
I didn't.
Greg,
Chris
stay
is in the back.
Greg, stay there.
Greg, are you there?
Why'd you dump me?
No,
Dude,
'cause
you can't say the F
You
word.
said F.
Well, I didn't know I was live. I thought y'all were just trying to get me on.
No, you're live,
no,
brother.
We want you on. We are big fans.
That's
Where y'all at?
We're based in D.C., but we're all over the country.
Yeah.
Well, I apologize to your listeners.
Well, that's
problem.
all right.
That's no problem.
You gave him
man.
a treat, actually.
Hey, are you still an Advantage or an Octagon client here in D.C.
Yeah.
with Jeff Austin?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's not that money. He's
He's
not, really
not a
that
nice guy, actually.
You know, we tried to get you on the show like 3 or 4 years ago, and he wouldn't even call you for us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you might want to talk to him.
So how did
seriously.
you guys get my number? Y'all just kind of guessed?
No,
No,
We have our sources.
yeah, we got our source.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is it, a media guide?
Yeah, exactly.
How many?
He figured us out.
I mean, Greg, honestly, because like Carl and Stockton, they probably get guys calling them all the time in their rooms. How many people actually call you in your room?
You'd be surprised.
Oh,
Really?
really? A bunch?
Pete Rose called me one day.
Who
Pete
did?
Rose.
Pete Rose.
What do you want, the line?
You wanted to throw the game?
Right.
No, he called because he had a show out in California.
Oh,
Right.
okay, that's right.
Did you talk to him?
Yeah.
Was it good? Was he a nice guy?
He just asked me about the season and the game that night. We were
Right.
playing Golden State.
Right. He didn't ask you about the over-under?
Greg, when people hear your name, obviously one of the things that they think of most is that fight you got in with Shaq.
No, they think a big dumb white guy. Really?
No, they don't.
Oh, that too.
No, they don't. They think of that fight. Now, tell us what happened. That was before a game, right? What was Shaq so pissed off about? And he sucker punched you, didn't he?
I don't even remember.
How can you even tolerate being on the same court with him after something like that? Seriously.
Kind of don't have a choice, really.
Right. Does he still talk smack to you, like every time you play against him?
No, he doesn't say anything to anybody.
He doesn't
say anything to me.
Each week throughout the year, we'll revisit some of our favorite memories in Junkies history. The podcast is released after the morning show on Thursdays, brought to you by our friends at PenFed. And that was our short conversation with Greg Ostertag. And there's a lot to dissect from that Bother the Pro, from Slow Joe running the board to the production at the beginning. You have the music playing throughout, which I know Jason still to this day.
I love it. I wish we could go back to it. Yeah.
I kind of miss it too. I know that for some people that can be distracting, but it's cool to hear it from back. That had to be, I don't know, early 2000s. I don't have quite a date on that.
I think that was
date,
because he was out of the league in 2004-ish, maybe 2005. So it was probably late 90s, early 2000s.
Right.
And I know that they changed the rules on us sort of as we were going along there, but we tried to finesse our way through it, by like just talking to the operator but not putting the operator's voice on or then trying to get through to the guy and then asking them sort of off air, but you could only hear our voices. But eventually even that was kind of looked upon unfavorably within the company and too risky. So it's a shame. That definitely goes down as one of the all-time favorite segments. I think if you ask old P1s, what are some of your favorite moments from the show? Right. I think a vast majority of them would put Bother the Pro in their top 5.
It was great. It was fun. And Ostertag was cool. A country boy, probably lives on a farm somewhere. I wonder what he looks like now. He's 7. He was over 7 foot. He was probably 300 pounds.
Awful.
He probably looks. He probably weighs 400 pounds now.
Probably can barely stand up.
Right.
Can you imagine the back pain he must be dealing with? I can't even.
I think that's what ended his career, is back pain.
I looked at his wiki. Yeah. Apparently, he lives in Texas on a small cattle farm with his family. But he's also a co-founder of the Ostertag Group. It's like an umbrella company that is involved with like a coffee house, a construction company, like real estate. So it sounds like he's done
probably
pretty well.
Tycoon.
Yeah, he's done pretty well in his post-playing days. So
anytime you guys want to bring back Bother the Pro in the mornings, I'm all for it.
Yeah,
we could try.
I mean, we could try, but I think that is a radio relic because of all the rules now that are in place to prevent that
theory,
sort of thing from
Cakes,
happening.
Why wouldn't it work where the audience can't hear the person we call? Let's say we call the hotel operator. Mm-hmm. I just talk to them and say, "Hey, I'm looking to speak to Christina Aguilera or whatever." And then they put me through to Aguilera's room and say, "Hey, Christina, EB from the Junks, would you mind coming on the air with us?" And if she says yes, then all of a sudden we put her voice on.
If we can find a workaround, everything old
Why
is
wouldn't
new
that
again.
work? I know we used to try that.
Everything goes in cycles. Maybe Bother the Pro is going to be resurrected. You never know.
Can we revitalize it?
Maybe we can put the paddles to it. We'll have to see. We'll have to have maybe we'll have a meeting with the producers. Love that.
Well, I'd rather just bury the segment then.
This is what I'll do for the meetings. I'll meet you there.
Yes, exactly. So that what? I'm guessing it's going to stay in the past, kind of where it belongs. So that was Bob the Pro on the Junkies 25th anniversary retrospective podcast, brought to you by our friends at PenFed Credit Union. PenFed's got great rates for those in uniform and those who are not. Apply today at PenFed.org. To receive any advertised product, you must become a member of PenFed, insured by NCUA.
The weather's getting warmer, and everybody wants to be outside, even your smart speaker. Crank up your favorite Odyssey stations on your Amazon Echo, Google Nest, or Apple HomePod at the pool or while you're grilling. Get your summer soundtrack from stations across the USA, from top 40 to rock, R&B to country. It's all here on Odyssey. Play your favorite station at your command, hands-free on your smart speaker. Your summer soundtrack is part of a universe of audio on Odyssey.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.